Hey, Scarefest fans, it's Joe Lewis with another review, Bonehead Weekly. You should subscribe. I'm going to do a review of something I never thought I'd ever even talk about. I'm going to do a review of a haunted house movie, only the house is underwater. It's called The Deep House. It's a thriller, supernatural thing. It's on Hulu, so if you guys have got the Hulus, you can subscribe and watch it. Basically, a young couple, modern, leggings, go to France to explore an underwater house and share their findings on social media and go through. And, they go to all these different places finding, they're looking for ghosts and they're looking for these kind of, and you're probably familiar with them, underwater towns. And what I mean by that is if, for example, if you know any of the history, like the TVA, the Tennessee Valley Authority, when they built a lot of dams and they built a lot of lakes during the late 30s and 40s with the New Deal, that some of these towns were destroyed or they were covered in water and they're still there underneath the water, and people dive down and take pictures and go look at them. Well, this is obviously something that happens across the world, and it's an interesting idea, I gotta say. So they basically they're out and they can never find anything. He's trying to build his YouTube channel, and she speaks French. I think he's English. She's from New York. They're in France, like I said, and there's this particular place that they learn about, but it's basically a tourist trap. Oh, you can see this. And then a guy comes over and says, if you pay me, I'll take you to this place. There's a house there and you can dive down and look at it. And it's the real deal. So they pay them. And what should you never do in a horror film? You should never follow the freak that tells you should follow me to go see the haunted house. But they do. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a movie. And they get there and they dive down. And guess what? Is there a haunted mansion underneath the water? Yeah, and this lake is deep as shit, by the way. It's a really deep lake. I don't know how deep lakes are in France. And they started talking in meters, and I'm American, and screw the metric system. But past that, did I enjoy the movie? It's not bad. I mean, it's an interesting take. Once they go underwater in the deep house, they pretty much stay there, and there is some creepy scenes in it, and I did kind of enjoy it. And there's a couple of things that got to me. It's only about an hour and 24 minutes. I don't know anything about the actors or the stars or a lot of that. I just seen the trailer for it about a year ago. I was like, oh man, I gotta see that, and I finally did. It's from Bloomhouse, and I enjoyed it. It's okay. It's nothing to write home about. If you have Hulu, I suggest you check out The Deep House. It's creepy. There's some good effects in it. And like I said, the last 2/3 are really underwater. So it's interesting how they pull it off. I like The Deep House. Just don't run out and see it. Just if you've got the Hulus, go ahead and watch it. Haunted house, underwater movie, The Deep House. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. See you next week.